what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, it's Missin Curfew, it's Obes, Richie Fella from the friendly confines of Pine Canyon, and our boy Jay Swish, as he would say, from the chin of North Scottsdale. Boys, nice to see you. Do you got matching T-shirts on, or is it just because it's white? It's summertime, you let the white tees fly. Eh? Let them fly, boys.
Let them breathe, baby. This is kind of like a shade of olive over here, Obes. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little dark in this room. It's a nice breathable aloe tea. You know, it's nice.
That looks nice, yeah.
You boys look sharp, lean. You both look lean.
Yeah, trying to be.
You got to get to that gym, Obes. You got to have a little pump in.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's not lean. I went back to the doctor there for a little physical, and the weight's creeping up again, boys. Too many fella tours. Too many baked goods from Mac Miller. I'm back on got to grab the short fork, even though Ozempic's not working. I'm like, that can't be right. Is that what I'm weighing? They're like, yeah. I'm like, back. Creeping back up there, boys. So it's back to DEF CON, whatever, around the Bay Club. I got to tighten it up, Rich.
We might have to get some peptides in you or something.
I'm on fucking, I got life force, baby. I got the testosterone flying through me. I got the day. I got the peak NVM. I'm picking all kinds of fucking shit. You think I need the peptides now too or what?
Or Mac Miller, just cut down on the sweets.
No, I called her after. I said, hey, code red. I text her, code red, pick up your phone. Code red here, sweetheart. I go, first of all, you're not in the will yet. So if you're trying to take me down, you're wasting your fucking time here. Nubs. I go, we got to get off the sweets. Too many baked goods, boys. I got to go back to the beef jerky at night and the hard-boiled eggs, eh?
Well, you got that nice Blackstone now, too, Obes. You could be frying up some chicken, maybe make it for later. You know, you grab that instead of that's cookie or whatever it is.
No,
right?
That's true. Leftover chicky in the fridge.
Right, there you go. Protein, baby.
So do you guys know about these Blackstone, these griddle fucking, these are not just like the old put the propane in, away you go. You got to season them. It's a process, Rich. You know about these things?
I have like a kind of one of those tops that goes on my normal barbecue. So yeah, I know you got to put the olive oil on. I do olive oil on mine and keep it. Well, how do you do yours?
No, I haven't done anything yet. I'm still getting going. Mac Miller, eh? She's like, these are the best things ever. I'm like, listen, I'm old school. I think the way you do it is if you put the griddle on top. Yep. To me, I think that's the safer play. Yeah. Of course, we go all in with the, and she didn't even know you had to season it either. KC texts me, he's like, you got to season that thing, huh? I'm like, what do you mean season it? I was about to throw a fucking New York strip right on there.
Yeah, and I don't think with the cast iron stuff too, I don't know if it's the same, but you're not supposed to wash them with soap and stuff either. You're supposed to like rinse them out and like wipe them down, but don't use soap and all that crap on them either.
I know. There's lots of rules. I don't like rules. Yeah. There's lots of rules.
You're not a big rule guy.
Never been a huge rule guy.
Shut your Blackstone off at the dry cleaners, eh?
Yeah.
Felt like you just for me.
Here, boys. Here, take this for me here. A little starch, eh? Not a lot of starch on there, boys.
How much starch you want on that?
I'll pick it up Thursday, 2 days, I'll pay extra.
Yeah, so I just got to get back on the protein, eh? Swish, just cook as much as I can on the Blackstone, bank it in there, have the chicken, have some protein.
Less sugars. You can do the carbs as long as it's a complex carb, even rice, that's fine, but just more protein, baby.
Yeah. I eat too much bread, too. Too many bagels.
What about getting on some fruit at night instead of snacking on the sweets?
Yeah, that's a good call. But, isn't there some sugar in fruits? But is that good sugar?
Yeah, Swish is probably better at this, but it's more natural sugar, so I think it's probably a lot better for you.
For sure. Yeah, berries, definitely.
Yeah.
What about
watermelon?
What about Camus grapes out of the Camus bottle? How's that?
Well, 2013, you're good.
Yeah.
17, I don't know.
Yeah. He goes, Dr. Nick today, I go in to see him. He's like, you drink a lot? Or I go, well, I'm what you call a binge drinker, Doc. I don't really drink a whole lot during the week, but like Saturday, for example, I probably had 25 cocktails. So I haven't had one since then, but he's like, okay, well, maybe just try to monetize that too, instead of having 20, maybe just have 5 or 6. I'm like, Doc, once I have 5 or 6, 20's coming down the pipe. It's either don't have 5 or 6 because I'm going to 20 or, 15, Rich,
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing, but
right.
I'm creeping back up to that number. I don't like that. I'll be honest, that 300 number. I was down to like 285, 284. I'm back in the danger zone. And Charles Barkley says if you're 300 or over, you're fat. And I believe Chuck, so Chuck knows.
The good news is we're going to the off season here, my friend. So you can put together a regiment, come back at camp, and get it going that way again for the season.
That's true. I think I got to get a few more.
We'll weigh in at camp this year, Obes. We'll have our own little weigh in for you.
Yeah, get the body fat clampers out, eh?
It's lots of water and sauna all summer.
Yeah, that's true. I get some more steps in. I think I got to get back on Ocean Boulevard, Rich, and really get the steps in. Maybe do the stairs every now and then.
There you go. Yeah, I got on that stepper this morning and put a little shift in there. That's good on the knees. You just get on that little stepper. Just you can go over look at your stuff, watch TV.
The steppers in the gym are no joke.
That's what I'm saying. I just crank her up and try to get to 100 floors.
Ivan Drago style, eh? That's the big Russian used to do in Rocky IV.
Hey, Rich, you know who I had dinner with this weekend was actually Kells and then JD. So obviously good friend Jason Demers, but we were dying laughing. We were talking about you, obviously, Richie, all good things, but we were talking about the summer skates, how you used to bag yourself, just do the across the boards, like back and forth, like for like 20 minutes, and you get off the ice, but you do the bag skates. You even do it bucket off sometimes. We were dying laughing at that, man. That was like your signature Pat move, wasn't it, Rich? Like come August was you bag skate yourself.
We talked about this, I don't know, it was last week.
Yeah, on the Curfew calls we did.
Yes,
and I said, that was my thing. I like a lot of times before the season, I'd rent the ice by myself and I'd just go out and bag myself. And that was it. I would just, especially up in Flagstaff, 7,000 feet, I'd almost throw up, get like altitude sickness. But I felt like if I did that, I'd be in good shape for whatever the coach threw at us for camp. So, but yeah, I like to do it with the helmet off, obviously.
I was just going to say, there's not much more National League than taking your bucket off for a bag skate. I used to put mine on top of the net, right? Take the bucket off, put it on top of the net, and just fucking go down and backs. That is NHL.
That's funny. They remember that. But yeah, that was the only way I felt like I was ready, though. And like, and old Rick Talkie used to have this bag skate. We had to do like all these stops and starts. So I'm like, well, this is what we got to do, you know? So there's only one way to do it.
There's only one way to skin a cat, eh, Rich? You got to get in there fucking dig, eh? Just get in there fucking over backs, eh? Touch the line, Rich. Touch the line. How about Rick Talkie when he said in Pittsburgh they didn't wear helmets when they practiced? How NHL's that, eh?
How great would that be?
Just flow drills. Don't nobody touch me, just sauce it.
Nope. No helmet, Obes, and no shoulder pads.
Yeah, that's my kind of team.
How sick is that?
I often thought about I felt so much lighter without shoulder pads on. I often thought like later in my career, I'm like, I wonder if I went out there with no shoulders on, how bad I'd get hurt. Probably would have got hurt, but
you don't
so much
really
better.
do that much.
I don't know how much they do, Rich. Honestly, I don't know. I just know when I don't wear them, I feel like literally 5 pounds lighter. I'm like, holy fuck, I can kind of.
Because you always know the guys that used to wear those old school Sherwood ones were basically, just a glorified shirt you threw on. There was nothing on those hoof caps or anything. So do you think they really did that much? Like a nice pair of shoulder pads?
No,
I don't.
I don't think they did.
I'll never forget when I was playing in junior in the Kingston Frontenacs. Marty McSorley was waiting for a contract, and he came to skate with us. And his shoulder pads were literally just the cap sewn to his fucking suspenders. That's all he had. Throw the suspenders on, he just had a cap here and a cap here. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all you need. You could sew, those things they have now, the pads, you could just sew, they sew right them into your gitch. It's kind of thing. You could just wear that and
what if you
fine out there.
What if you take a clapper in the chest though? What if you shot you in the face?
You're standing there.
What if you shot you in the face? That was a risk we were willing to take.
Obes, you think as a guy that used to chuck them that you would have an advantage if you didn't have shoulder pads on?
Probably. I never thought. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would. Because if they couldn't really grab
underneath.
Yeah.
The other guy. Yeah.
Fuck, I never thought about that. I could have prolonged the career a couple more years.
Fuck, eh? Maybe we should get out there. You'd be the biggest heavyweight in the league now.
I couldn't even make. I can't even make heavyweight at UFC. I got to cut. Heavyweight at UFC is 265. Ain't no way I'm making that, dude. There's a super heavyweight. I got to go in the slap competition with the big boys. You see those big boys in the slap? One guy's eye disappeared. It went into his fucking other eye. He's just like,
they're looking at their hands. They're like frozen turkeys. Yeah. You call them butterball. They're just firing.
The doc was trying to be a good guy though. He's like, hey, you're a big guy though, eh? Big guy. You got big hands, small cock, big feet, but you're a big guy. I'm like, thanks, doc.
Bone.
Thanks, doc. Yeah, thanks, doc. I appreciate it. You might want to check that scale, doc. Seems to be a little heavy fella. When's the last time you changed that battery in that thing? Boys, before we dive into some hockey intro stuff here, I wanted to ask you, obviously, basketball's over. The association has switched calls. It's over. The back-to-back champs, which we're going to get into, are fucking on an all-time bender, which I'm still jealous about, but I need some shows. What are you guys watching? I need something. I got nothing to watch on TV. I'm watching old school Entourage stuff, which I love, but I feel like I need something that's kind of going on here. I'm watching Stick.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this over to Richie because I'm not a big show guy.
You're not, eh? Rich, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm on stick right now.
Yeah.
I watched it last night, actually going to bed last two. There was something else on Apple I was just going to tell you about. I can't remember.
Friends and Neighbors?
The CIA show.
I haven't.
It's with the guy that did Yellowstone. That
No, I haven't seen it.
Yellowstone there.
Is it good, though?
Tyler Sheridan did it.
All right, I'll check.
Fucking great show. It's Nicole Kidman's in it.
Okay.
It came out a few months ago, but it's unbelievable. 2 seasons.
Didn't it seem like back in our day, like of the pinnacle of HBO days and Entourage and Showtime, Ray Donovan, like this time of year, all these good shows were just starting to hum. Like the playoffs end, you're kind of disappointed, but then you're like, all right, I got Ray Donovan, I got Californication, I got Entourage, I got Curb, I got fucking. Those days are gone, eh? There's
Richie, that's Lioness. Great
Lioness.
show.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, sick show.
Oh, have you seen Lioness?
I have seen parts of it. She gets pounded all the time, right?
Yeah, she likes to throw down.
Yeah. She goes on the OCIA mission and comes back and gets a quick thumping and hits the road
I
again.
loved it. Casey, you loved it?
Oh, great show. You know what I just threw on is a Homeland, just, a nod to what's going on in the world. I put the old Homeland season 1 on. Pretty good.
Yeah, she's crazier than squirrel shit in Homeland. What's the blonde there?
Oh, yeah.
She'd
Keep
be
her
a handful
medicated.
of the rapper, too.
Oh, what about Landman?
Love Landman. Love it, but I've already watched it. Love it.
Okay.
All right, so maybe I'll get back into Lioness, or maybe I'll just go right back down to season 1, episode 1, the pilot of Entourage, and just run it back. Just run it back.
Obi, do you think, as not a show guy, but everyone always has told me to watch The Sopranos. Do I got to watch The Sopranos?
It's a great show. Hey, Rich, it's an unbelievable
Yeah,
swish. Maybe I'll dive back into that with Mac Miller. She definitely hasn't seen that. I don't know if she's born yet, so.
You're not watching Love Island with Mac?
She tried to get me to watch Love Island. I have watched a few episodes of Love Island with her, but no, I was early in our relationship. I refuse to watch it with her now. Should I maybe watch it, KC, or what?
Yeah, it's out of control.
What about, have you seen Tires?
No, with Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious, man.
2 seasons of that out, so that's it's a quick watch, though.
Okay, all right. I'll give those a look,
All right.
and maybe I'll just go back to Californication season 1. Old Hank Moody.
There you go, baby.
Hank, was there any character that made you want to be an alcoholic and just fucking pound broads more than Hank Moody? I'm like, this guy's got it figured out.
And
guy-
in L.A.
Yeah.
Live in L.A. single.
Yeah, driving around Malibu with his Porsche with one headlight. I'm like, same black leather jacket he wore. I'm like, this guy gets it.
I was just going to say, I got to get a leather jacket now.
No, you got it. You got to get a Hank Moody leather jacket, bud.
100%.
Boys, Don Cherry, Grapes, 91 years old. I guess there's been a couple rumors coming out, mainly from back home, Richie, in Canada, but that was his last podcast. I listened to it. He did kind of sign off like he was done. He didn't sound great. I love Grapes, but you could tell he sounded, 91 years old. If it is his last podcast and last we're going to hear from him, I just think it's time to get him in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know how his health is, but 91 years old is obviously, it's getting up there, Rich. And for me and you, Richie, guys that grew up in Ontario, watching Leafs games, getting Rock'em Sock'ems for every Christmas. I mean, Don Cherry, first of all, no one loved Canada more than Grapes and was more proud to be Canadian. And no one grew the game more, in my opinion, than Grapes, or maybe the great one in Canada. And for him not to be in the Hall of Fame, Rich, is a joke. And I don't want to have to wait till he's gone to get him in there. So let's get him in.
Couldn't agree more, Obes. I mean, I'm the biggest Don Cherry fan, just like you are. And I think most kids in our generation are, just like you said, getting that tape every year for Christmas. Saturday night, huddled around my TV with my dad, watching Grapes. I don't think I missed until I moved away from home at Hockey Night Canada. Even in the NHL, because you couldn't wait till he mentioned your name on Hockey Night in Canada, right? When that was like made it to the NHL moment, Don Cherry mentioned your name and you're like, that's, Grapes loves me. I'm in.
100%.
I can't believe it. Like, I almost feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame already, right? Like, it feels like one of those things, like, how is he not in the Hall of Fame? No slight to anyone that's in the Hall of, or going in the Hall of Fame or in the Hall of Fame, but this guy made hockey a lot bigger and better, especially in Canada. Maybe you didn't agree with him, maybe you did, but he definitely made it entertaining, and I love the guy.
Yeah, I just think, fellas, that some of these legends of the game, and as time passes them, and some of these guys even have health issues, like a Barry Melrose, John Buchagras actually brought light to the situation. And he made a great point, Obes, where these guys that are getting older, that maybe aren't working in hockey anymore, obviously Barry battling Parkinson's, like these guys should be able to see the light of the day where they get into the Hall of Fame before they pass, right? Grapes is 91 years old. Obviously Barry dealing with some health issues. You never know when you get to the back nine of your life. And I just think a lot of these guys, they wait until they pass away, and then they induct them, where they should be able to see the light of day. They should be able to get honored with their Hall of Fame inductee ceremony, speak again. People can see him. I think that would be really cool. And, like I said, Grapes is 91 years old. He should be in, and he should be able to see himself get into the Hall of Fame because he's one of the biggest influence ever in hockey.
Yeah.
His family too, and his family should see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, like his kids and his brothers and all that stuff. It's too bad. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, and you're right about Barry. I mean, as much as Grapes did it for Canada back home on CBC Hockey Night in Canada, Barry Melrose on ESPN, and then even when hockey was on, when me and you, Richie, first got in the league, it was on Versus or the Outdoor fucking network or whatever. We couldn't even find a hockey game. He would still get his token every night on ESPN and have his 6 suits with a cigar, and he was a character, and he helped grow the game. And I'm with you on that one, Swishy. Barry Melrose belongs in there, maybe not as much as Grapes, but he's right there with him, in my opinion, as a Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had Grapes. I always would watch the Rock'em Sock'ems, especially in junior on the bus. You'd throw them on, or even as kids. But, guys, our godfather of hockey down here in the States, when, again, you couldn't even find a hockey game on when I was 10, 12, 13 years old. You have to go to the Outdoor Network, and it would be some random game, Buffalo versus Carolina. Barry Melrose shined light on hockey. He brought it to SportsCenter. It was always that, little glimpse of 2 to 3 minutes where we could see hockey highlights, and it was always through Barry. And even working with college hockey, I got to know Barry over the years, going to Frozen Fours and different things. So I think, just speaking for kids my age and especially younger, Barry Melrose was our OG of hockey, and another guy that deserves, rightfully so, to see the light of day and see himself go into the Hall of Fame alongside a guy like Don Cherry.
Yeah.
And that mullet, the hockey hair.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
He was the best.
How much LA looks did he have in that thing? A full bottle?
Yeah, he coached me for a couple months in Tampa. It was awesome. He was my type of coach. I was like, this is going to be great. Barry coming in, big suits on, cigar. He always has boys with him. Like, this is my kind of team here, boys. My kind of team. But well said by you boys. And hey, listen, let's get it right. Let's get Grapes and Barry both in there. Sticking with the Hall of Fame, the class of 2025 was announced today. My boy Ryan Getzlav, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Had some wages out there with some friends. Cody, I owe you. And no Carey Price, which to me, I thought Carey was guaranteed a first ballot Hall of Famer. Chara, guaranteed. Keith, obviously guaranteed. Jumbo, guaranteed. And Alexander McGillney finally got in, boys. 990 games played, never got 1,000. Never got 500 goals either, but he had over 1,000 points. So he got 473 goals, over 1,000 points. I don't know. I think Walt Tkachuk should be in before McGillney, but maybe I'm just biased because I love the Tkachuk family, but I don't know.
Oh, Obes, quickly on that, like McGillney, his last game played was in 2006. Now we're almost 20 years after the fact when he played a game. So 5 years removed from the league, you can get inducted to the Hall of Fame or whatever it is.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
So do you think there should be a cutoff where if you don't make it in the first 15 years of eligibility, you're discluded from ever making it? Or is this something like, because if you didn't get in the first 15 times or 18, 19 times, whatever it is, and then you get in it, am I onto something here? Or should you always be eligible, and depending on the class, if it's a little weaker, okay, then you get in? Like, I don't know, man. It just seems weird. Not that saying that he shouldn't be in. It's just, you go 1 for 19 and then you finally get in. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. And like, I think I would agree with you, except for the fact of when JR got in last year, right? And like how, JR probably thought he'd never get in. And then boom, he got the call after whatever, 15, more than that. It's been almost 20 for JR too, right? So yeah, it was cool to see. But for McGillney to get in over a guy like Carey Price or Ryan Getzlav, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Carey Price won every individual award you could win, went to a Stanley Cup final. Ryan Getzlav came runner-up for the Hart, won everything he could with Hockey Canada, won a Stanley Cup, and, had 1,000 points. But, yeah.
And Walt Tkachuk with 538 goals.
Yeah. Like, to me, and maybe I'm biased. Like I said, I love the Tkachuk family. I got to know Big Walt, but 500 goals for Big Walt and 1,000 points, right?
Yeah, and 1,000 points.
Like, how is he not in? That is, from what everyone told me, that's the criteria. 500 and 1,000 points, you're in.
Okay, can I throw a number at you here with another guy?
Yeah.
Pierre Turgeon, 1,294 games, 515 goals, and 1,327 points.
Yeah.
Did he get in?
Yeah, he got in.
He got in, right?
He got in, I believe, last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he got in.
Was it last year? Okay, because he was one of those guys who was hanging on for a while.
No, but those are both the criteria hit. Yeah, 500 and over 1,000
goals, right?
You know the one. Now, I'm not saying this guy wasn't a hell of a player. Obviously, a very good player, a Selke winner 3 times, but Guy Carbonneau, 1,300 matches, which is a lot, but he's 663 points. 3-time winner, obviously, of the Stanley Cup and 3 Selkes, but that one was always the one that jumped out at me. I mean, just the point total, not great, but I guess a really good defensive forward. So,
But yeah, that's like his numbers aren't great, but he got it done and he shut guys down. It's like, okay, I think there should be exceptions for that if you've won everything. Like, okay, you didn't maybe get 1,000 points and you got 500 goals or vice versa, but you won everything, you're in.
You won cups.
You won cups, you won gold medals, you won, world championships, whatever it may be, world juniors. It's like, I thought Getzey was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is a tough class. I mean, Chara, Thornton, Keith, Price, and Getzey, those guys are like they can all be first ballot Hall of Famers.
yeah, you're right. And, this is, I mean, I don't know if we want to go there, but we were talking a little bit before, just like, should there be a different criteria for men's and women's hockey Hall of Fame, or should they all go in together? I don't know, because does it take away spots if you elect, you know what I mean? Does it with the gals going in, or is it just different? I don't know.
I think you don't want everyone getting in the Hall of Fame. You got to be a Hall of Famer to get in the Hall of Fame. But if you look at it from the girls' perspective, why would they not have their own? That way they could honor more people from their generations as well. Like if there was a women's hockey Hall of Fame that could honor maybe a lot more females that are getting honored right now. And in this case, with Botterill and Decker, I'm sure they were both. I know Jennifer Botterill played for Team Canada. I know she won some gold medals. Decker, I don't really know. I'm sure they were great female hockey players. But the fact that Carey Price and Ryan Getzlaf right now are on the outside looking in when, to me, they both have first ballot resumes and are first ballot fucking guys. It's like maybe we should think about having, the Hockey Hall of Fame for men, and then the women have their own wing and they still get celebrated. It's just like maybe it's time to think about that. Or maybe the women just want to be in with the men because they deserve to be. I don't know how they feel.
Yeah. It's just like a league of their own. We ever see
they get their own fucking
Dottie Henson.
Yeah.
Dottie Henson's going to throw her in the old Women's Hall of Fame.
Hey, cowgirls, see the grass? Don't eat it. He goes, see, the way it works is the train moves, not the station. That guy was one of my favorite characters. They're like, are you leaving? He's like, yeah. Gonna go home, grab a shower and a shave, give a wife a pickle tickle. I'll be on my way. Great flick. I often thought they should have done just a straight up Jimmy Dugan sequel after that. Tom Hanks, Jimmy Dugan on his next job as either a Major League Baseball manager or minor league, but they should have done a Jimmy Dugan sequel.
One of the best managers of all time.
Yeah. What a character. Hey, what a character. He's like, I typically like how you scratch your nuts through the whole second and third inning there. He's like, well, anything worth doing is doing right.
Doing right.
Boys, I guess there's only a maximum of 4 retired male players inducted in a single year.
Okay. So it doesn't affect it, is what you're saying, KC.
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotcha.
So those were the 4.
So the women get there's always going to be 2 women and 4 guys. So it's like they have their own already.
Exactly,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's 2 females.
Okay, so they have their own. Yeah,
So it's okay.
That's fair.
Was one builder a year or 2 builders?
And then 2 in the builders.
Yeah, Jackie Parker got in this year, BU coach, longtime Boston University.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats to all of them. I mean, good on McGill, the guy had 6 style. Char was a beast. Jumbo is the one guy I always said if I could have traded careers with that, I would have liked to be Joe Thornton. But there's probably more guys on the list than just him, but he was at the top of my list. And Duncan Keith, man, Richie, you witnessed it when you were at LA King. I witnessed it when I was a Vancouver Canuck. The amount of ice time, and Swish, you'll appreciate this as an offensive defenseman. Guy would play 30 minutes a night in the playoffs for fucking 2 months straight. Like,
and he never looked tired.
And never looked tired.
And he played the same way every shift, up in the play, good stick, hard defensively, like never physically got you, but just always was stick on puck and just was willing to do whatever it took. I mean, he was a tough guy to play against, that's for sure.
It was
What do you get? 3 cups, couple Norrises.
Yeah.
Do you win a Conn Smythe?
Yep. A couple Norrises.
Couple Olympic golds.
Obes, he redefined how to defend too in the neutral zone with the surfing and skating forwards at guys, and just the way he could angle guys and even close them off before they're on the red line. Like, he wouldn't give any space. The way he could defend skating forwards at guys, I mean, they still teach that to this day. Is like the Duncan Keith method. I remember, coming up and through the surfing ranks. It's surfing.
Yeah. So, there you go, hey, Rich. There you go. A little coaching in your background, eh?
Well, I mean, that is the style they taught because of him. And it was the worst is you're going to dump a puck in late in your shift, and he comes surf you from the far side and squeeze you off, and you try to you're like, oh, this is a turnover.
Yeah.
And then
right back down your throat.
Right
up to
take a seat here, Richardson. Yeah.
Right up to showtime there. A little backhand sauce to Patrick Sharp and fucking Schmink Dink.
Yeah. Exactly.
You guys think he had the best feet coming off the wall, like getting in the middle of the ice on the offensive blue line? Like those feet were so fast, man. Like they were a little choppy, but it was insane how quick he was.
Yeah, for me, the more thing that impressed me, I think, yes, he did, but the way he defended, and Richie just touched it, I didn't know it was called surfing, but, he would just, how quick he could close and get to pucks and jump on it and stick and give it to you, move it D to D, and they're gone. You're like, holy fuck, man. And he would do it for 30 minutes a night for 4 rounds straight. And you're like, this guy's a machine. And it's not like he wasn't going back and getting pucks and getting run and getting, he was in the fight.
Yeah, he was certainly in the fight. And he was getting hit. He got some licks too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He got hit hard. Guys were trying to hit him. He's not a big guy by any means.
Yeah.
So
no.
Who did he high stick in the playoffs again? Just like
Cart.
It's a great story. It's a great story. So me and Loops were at Teddy's in Hollywood, and Sheldon Brookbank's the 7th defenseman. And we're like, fucking A, Billy, this is awesome. You're going to win the cup. This is great. He's like, yeah, I'm never going to get in though. It'd be nice to get one game in there. I'm like, no, you stay ready. You never know. You're going to get in there. There'll be an injury. Next game, Duncan Keith, 2 hands, Carter right in the fucking head. We're like, attaboy, Billy, you're in, fella. Go get him. That's how quick it changes, Swishy. That's why you got to stay ready.
He was sneaky nasty, wasn't he, Rich?
He was. I remember sitting on the bench in that game, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
He obviously lost it, but
just a little one-hand.
Carts lost a little. I think Carts lost a tooth on that one too. So, but yeah, that was pretty dirty.
Yeah, he was just trying to get him in the shoulder, wasn't he? And he kind of
fuck. Yeah, why you try to heist a guy on the shoulder?
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
I would have cross-checked the
real, and then they ended up beating us in the Western Conference Finals, so that was kind of an insult.
A little salt in the wound, eh?
Yeah.
Can't win every year, bud. Can't win every year.
It's true.
Getsy, keep your head up. Carey Price, I still can't believe. I thought he was a lock to get in, but congrats to all the boys that we played against. Mogilny got in there. Last but not least, Richie put this in the intro. Looking out for our boy Flowers. Flowers is safe and sound. He's out of Israel. He's in Rome, Italy, eating pizza and pasta. I say go over by the statue, the fountain. There's a good gelato place. Go over there, treat yourself, Flowers. So I'm glad he got out. It was touch and go there for a bit, man. He went to the airport back-to-back days, and he got there, and they canceled his flight, get back in the bomb shelter. So he's out. He's safe. It's good news. I was worried for him. It'll be good to see him when he gets back home, Rich.
Yeah, that's scary, man. And he was like, how many times did he go to the airport? A couple times? And
he did yeah.
So
I FaceTimed him the one day where they canceled his flight, Swish, and he's got his carry on, and he's walking back, and he's like, fuck Holmes, I'm fucking done. This is brutal. I'm like, keep your head up, fella. Keep your head up. You're gonna get out of there. But I can't imagine. I don't know what I would have done. We were talking about at dinner, do you just steal a car and drive over into some other country, or what do you do? Or you just hunker down the bunker? What do you do? Just stay?
Well, yeah, you got to stay put because you don't know where these bombs are flying in from, man. That's what I was texting you guys in the group chat. I'm like, can I get an update from the Fair But Firm podcast? I'm worried about this guy. I'm fucking worried about him.
Yeah.
I'm seeing his Insta stories, and obviously, it's real shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Or do you start going around to guys in the city being like, yo, fella, listen, I got 2,500 American. I need you to take me out of this fucking country and get me to Turkey.
Yeah, but like you said, there's no guarantee these guys are going to be able to get you across the border or do whatever. They probably shut everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking War Dogs, The movie War Dogs with Jonah Hill, and the boys bring the guns across the fucking, what do they call it? The death trap circle or something. They're like, you guys drove these here?
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine sitting there and not, I guess there's nothing you can do, but it's just fuck, would you want to get out of there though?
Yeah, I would be staying put. You don't, because you're on the battleship game board. You got to get in that bomb shelter, just hunker down, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking pray.
And you're surrounded there. You look around there, it's you got Iraq, fucking Jordan, who I'm sure not fans of, it's just the closest place you could have got to is maybe Egypt, or you have to go through Jordan to get into Turkey. It's he was hemmed in. He was hemmed in. He was caught in the end of a shift. Fucking, he was in one. Flip it out.
That margarita pizza must have tasted nice.
Oh,
Oh no.
I told him, listen, just any place you go to Rome, get a vodka penne. And before you have that, get a little prosciutto mozzarella with a little fucking little fresh tomatoes. Oh, it's so good.
Sounds nice.
Was he drinking over there to calm the nerves, or was he just white knuckling it?
Well, I asked him if he had how his pharmacy was holding up over there. He said he was thin, but he had a couple things to get him through there.
He was rationing.
Yeah. He was.
Get a kebab in you. Eh?
Yeah, I don't want kebabs, Bob. I want a life. Flowers, fucking enjoy Rome, buddy. Get back safe and sound, boys. Before we go to our first break, let's not forget this show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll be right back. Fellas, welcome back to Missin Curfew. DraftKings bets, baby. Get some skin in the game. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Boys, we got the 2025-26 Stanley Cup odds out. Fellas out there, tread carefully. I got myself into a futures. Thank God I did good in the playoffs because I got myself in a futures hole where I saw all these lines come out on DraftKings last year, and I'm like, yeah, they could win. They could win. They could win. Before I knew it, I had 6 fucking teams. But is there anyone that jumps out there to you, boys, that you may tickle here before? You know, obviously, July 1st right around the corner. We're going to see some trades, some signings. So these are going to move, I would say, in the next couple weeks. But is there anything out there that jumps out at you boys that pretty good odds right out of the gate?
I mean, how are the defending champs not? How don't they have the best odds? Obi would be my question there to you. Is how do the Oilers have the best odds to win the mug next year? Obviously, the lines will be adjusted. They'll see what we do in free agency. But that was the one that jumped out to me. It's like the Cats, especially if they can reload the wagon.
Well, they're a plus 600. They're the favorite.
Oh, sorry. I thought Edmonton was okay. Yep, I'm seeing it now.
But I mean, I kind of like Jersey.
One that jumps out to me, Rich, is your old team there. LA Kings at plus 2,000 with some Mitch Marner rumors swirling. Like, I don't know if he's going to come there, but like, listen, they were up 2-0, as we all know, against Edmonton, and they pissed that away. Like, to me, if you're looking just to do a little value bet, boys out there right now with the LA Kings at plus 2,000, that one jumps out to me. A lot of uncertainty in Toronto. Tampa Bay at plus 1,400. Obviously, I'm biased with Coop, but we're going to get into the Tavares talk. But to me, the LA Kings at plus 2,000, if you want to tickle it before free agency happens and all that, because if, let's say they sign a Mitch Marner, that's going to go down to like plus 1,400 or something.
Yeah, I might even go a little.
Might go lower than that.
Might go lower than that, buddy. But yeah, I see Vegas as a team that's going to be aggressive too, so I don't mind them.
Yeah.
What?
Is that Gavrikov up in LA?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's UFA.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, but there's rumors he might be signing back, but we'll see.
Time will tell.
Toronto at plus 2,000 is not bad, though. If they can retool that bottom 6, we'll see if Tavares, they're able to bring him back or, insert someone into that middle 6 in terms of a C. I don't know. I don't mind that either, too.
It's just like, I obviously Bennett's going to resign in Florida. All indications are saying that. But, like, with the uncertainty there, it's like, fuck, how good is Toronto going to, like, if they... I got to wait and see what they do, Swishy, is what I'm saying, man. They have a lot of holes right now. No second-line center. Obviously, Nylander bumps up, so now you got no second-line right winger. If Marner's gone and Nylander bumps up to your first line, their back end we don't love, right? It's like, I just got to see what Brad... Yeah, I got to see what Brad has up his sleeve, so.
Yeah.
But hey, never too early to get some skin in the game. Always gamble responsibly, but get some skin in the game at DraftKings. Swishy, get this guy a Labatt Blue fella.
Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Folks, any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt, sign up at rewards.labattusa.com. Folks, that is always in Chippewa Street country.
Boom. Can't wait to get to Buffalo with you boys.
God damn.
Saw your boy Joe Burrow there walking the streets of New York with that. Who's the girl he's dating right now? Swishy, the little blonde Olivia.
Yeah, it's not Olivia Dunn, is it?
No. Olivia.
Well, it starts with a P. What's the last name?
Her first name's Olivia, though, right? Blondie. Yeah.
He's got a new one every week.
Yeah, he should. He should have one new one every week. But I know you. I love Joey B too. I didn't love his wardrobe he was wearing in the pictures I saw, but when you're making, what's he making? 30 bananas?
Yeah, 40, 50, whatever it is.
Guess you can wear whatever you want. Get this guy Labatt Blue, boys. I'm dishing. I got 3 here. My boy Corey Perry, the Worm, is officially coming back for his 21st season. Wants to stay in Edmonton, but is a UFA. Had 19 goals last year, 11 assists, 81 games. We all know he's lost 5 of the last 6 finals. But Pears, good on you. 21st season, buddy. Get a couple blue lights at the lake, up at Clear Lake there. I know he's got a nice pad up there, so enjoy yourself, Pears. And for me, sorry, I got one more to Sam Bennett. This guy's been crushing Labatt Blue. But the other day at 11, when he made everyone calm down and get real quiet, and then he did the Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not fucking leaving, I literally laughed out loud on the golf course. I thought it was fucking great. And then when he did his speech at the parade, the Conor McGregor, the double champ does whatever the fuck he wants, I thought it was great. So Sam Bennett, get yourself a Labatt Blue. You've been drinking tons of them. You deserve it. Richie, as you know, when you win, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And when you go back-to-back, you can have a time. And this guy, 2 of my favorite quotes. So get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella.
Especially doing it at 11.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Oh,
I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh, I got one to throw out here, and it's to just the greatest guy of all time, Brett Sutter. Just got named head coach of the Calgary Wranglers. 1,090 career AHL games, which has got to be some kind of record. Which is that's a lot of bus rides, Obes.
Fuck is it ever? That's a lot of cold pizza.
You deserve a case of beer for that one, but I'm really happy for the guy. Obviously, I had his dad as a coach, Daryl. He's just such a great kid. He went retired. He was playing for the Wranglers, retired. 1 year as assistant coach. Now he's got the head job. I know they love him, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job.
Boys, I'm sliding it over to the hardwood. And you know what? This gal, 60 years young, like a fine wine she is, she's catching a lot of flack. A lot of people are criticizing her, saying she's too old, she's washed up. But you know what? I've always had a soft spot for Doris Burke, Obi, and just her voice, her cadence. I would date her tomorrow if she wanted to go on a date with me. You know what? She's just that young but old fox. So she's catching a lot of heat. People are really giving it to her online, saying her and Richard Jefferson did do a great job, especially down the stretch on ESPN and ABC with the call. But I just want to give old DB, that old cougar, slider at icy cold, Labatt Blue, because you know what? Keep your chin up, yet tucked, DB. I'm always on your side, baby.
Yeah, listen, she has a great voice.
It's the best.
Her bucket's not perfect, but I mean, she's a legend though. Like, she's been around forever. But listen, I watched a lot of the association games in the final. I've never been a huge Richard Jefferson fan. I didn't like him when he played. I always thought he was kind of a whiny, kind of soft pussy when he played. I don't think he's great on TV either. I just think with all the characters they have in basketball, it's like you're going to give that chair, the chair in the final to Richard Jefferson. Come on. I got no problem with Doris Burke, but Richard Jefferson? Come on, man. Give me somebody else. Anyone else?
Dick Jefferson. I think he used to hang out around South Bay a lot.
Did you ever see him up there in the South Bay, Rich?
I think Dick Jeff.
I mean, I never saw him, but they're not hard to spot, those guys walking around, that's for sure.
You ever remember the time we were working out up in Manhattan Beach and Maria Sharapova walked in when the boys were working out? Oh,
yeah.
I remember those. That. Remember those getaway sticks? I almost fucking blew my fucking neck out. I was doing it like overtime. I'm like, I couldn't focus the rest of the workout, Rich. I was done. Soupy's trying to get me to focus. I'm like, Soup, save your breath, bud.
Especially she's doing RDLs and bending over, and her like, holy fuck.
Holy, let's go get lunch here, boys. Sick. Get a little float. Like, let's get out of here. Where are we heading? Let's
go North End here.
Hey, MJ next year though. NBA on NBC is back. They gave MJ, I believe, I want to say 40 bananas. Ice pick, is that right? 40 million?
Yeah, it was 40 sticks.
Now that's a guy I want to listen to cover the finals. Is MJ?
Yeah, you said MJ. Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
You think he's gonna let it fly? You like, what's Mike Lake on camera these days? It's been a while since I've been. When's the last time he's done like an interview or?
Well, The Last Dance. The Last Dance. That's maybe my favorite documentary ever. The 10-part Last Dance. It was so good. I mean, listen, if anyone can let it fly, it's MJ, isn't it? He's the richest basketball player ever. He still makes $1 billion a year off Air Jordans or something like what? Why wouldn't he let it fly, Swishy? Like, he's never really cared what people think to a certain extent, don't you think?
No, I agree. I just, sometimes guys get different on TV but if you're making 40 million and you're MJ, you'd like to think, especially you might go up there after happy hour and he'll just let it fly. I hope he just is like the nail gun that MJ is, and he's opinionated. He kind of, he'll call like he sees it. If someone's, like the guys in the NBA now are pretty soft, he calls it that way. Like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I find him seeing chirping LeBron too, because I know he hates him.
Yeah, he's definitely. I've only got to hang out. I wasn't even hanging out with him. I was just there, but like for a few hours at the Grove, and he has an aura about him. Like it's hard to explain until you're like probably much like hanging around Tiger. If Tiger was around, I'm sure. It's crazy the aura he has around him. So I'm looking forward. I grew up watching the NBA on NBC back home when Jordan was winning his, in the early '90s and late '90s. I was watching that, back home. So I'm looking forward to Marv Albert. He's heating up. Is Marv still kicking or what?
Basketball.
Is Marv still kicking? He's still kicking, right? Swish? Marv?
I think so. That's Kenny's dad. I think he's still around.
Ice pick. Is Marv Albert still alive?
I think they showed him at the Garden, I want to say.
Yeah, he's still alive, but I don't remember him broadcasting a game.
He got a little
recently.
hot water there a few years ago, didn't Marv get a little hot water? I thought he got a little hot water. A little hotter than they call us.
Wet bandits.
An underwater specialist on the Southern Tour.
There you go. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. Always drink responsibly, but get those in you, boys. Summer is here. God, they slide nice in the summertime on the lake. I'll be back there in August, Rich. I'm going to have a fucking... That fridge is going to be on my dock full of blue
Get
lights.
yourself a big ice chest. Get that elbow right in.
I'm going to get right in there. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. It's going to be nice. So, it's the Missin Curfew Dog of the Week, boys. The Missin Curfew Dog of the Week is Brad Marchand. I mean, this guy, I used to always talk, like, you remember Gronk, when the Patriots are winning, he'd be the drunkest guy doing whatever he wants. Like, when you win, as you know, Richie, you can do whatever you want. Nobody says anything. What Brad Marchand has been up to has been legendary. I mean, 5 a.m. coming out of 11, he wanted to go back in, and I can't blame him. You got to feel like 5 o'clock at 11 is just might just be heating up. So he wanted to go back in there. Everywhere he goes, he's got a drink in his hand. He's having a good time, as he should be. So Brad Marchand, Richie, and Jay Swish is my Missin Curfew Dog of the Week. Guy has been the drunkest guy in Florida, and that is hard to do because a lot of people like getting drunk in Florida.
I couldn't like this guy anymore, but now he's just put himself to another level for me. If I was a GM in the league right now, I'd be just backing up the truck to sign this guy.
Right?
I could.
And he's just been doing such a good job on social media too. I love the thanks. Like he's tagging the teams in it too. So he'll take a picture of, say, Rhino, and he'll be like, "Thanks at Buffalo Sabres," and he's just going down the line, just making a mockery of it, Obi. But that's what you can do when you win. And I love Marshy, not only, what he's doing, but he's sharing it with the public. So that's the way to grow the game, get eyes on it. And man, just comes down to winning. You can just do whatever the fuck you want when you win. Like that must be so cool. Richie obviously got to taste that, but I mean, I never got close. It looks unbelievable.
Oh, doesn't it look fun?
Oh God, it just looks, I'm so jealous. I'm like, Jesus, they're going again. It's day 7.
Yeah. Then and credit to these boys. The first time I saw a picture of any of them with their girls was after the parade on Sunday. From Tuesday to Sunday, I didn't see them with a significant other. It was just the boys on each other's shoulders getting fucking tuned up. I'm like, that is hockey. Then finally after the parade, they went to a little pool party, and they had their wives and kids and everyone there. So I think that's Tuesday to Sunday is a hell of a run to just tell the wives to, hold the fort at home. Hey, Rich, hold the fort. We'll be back here in a couple days. Hey, was it like that when you won, or did you guys have
it was. We didn't have a lot of wives. I think we probably had 5 or 6 wives on our team that year. Maybe a couple more, but not many. Maybe a few girlfriends. But that was about the same thing. We had about 2 weeks where it was just, God, it was game on. And by the end of it, you were just crawling. Everyone was just like, please, let's get out of LA. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But, like once in a while, like I probably went 5-6 days pretty hard. And then I'm like, I need a day off. So I took one day, slept all day, then back at it again for 3 or 4. But it was just, it's tough not to, because you don't want to miss anything, right? You don't want to miss one thing with your teammates. So it's tough to like turn it off and just say, I got to stay home tonight. Because they're having so much fun. Something's going on you want to be part of. So, yeah.
I never won one, but I know what I would have done now, boys. I would have had a live-in nurse with me. From the time the last buzzer went, I'm like, you're hired. IVs, you live here now. See that spare room? That is your room. You just lock and load that with IVs and any other things you can get in that tickle chest, because I'm going to need you here for the next month probably. Like I heard Rhino on Chicklets with the boys being like, the team doctor's been helping the boys out, like probably with Z-Packs and stuff, right? Like you're down and out, you're like, call the doc, hey doc. I would have hired a full-on nurse to be there for the whole bender.
Yeah, some Russian living just
like, that would have been a nice touch, but even just to get, let's say a Russian for the story. So let's say a Russian for the story.
And Richie, when you won though too, there was no like these guys, not that they're doing anything bad, but there's so many cameras around them. Like when I've never remember seeing any footage out of the 2012 LA Kings running it up in Hollywood. Like there's so many cameras around these guys. It's crazy.
Well, I think we're pretty thankful for that, for some of the shit we were doing. Anyway,
There's some stuff off camera happening, I'm sure, but you're right about that, Swishy.
no, but I think it's those times are nice. Like right now, like you can't do anything, you get away with it, obviously, just like you said. But I like those simpler times when you could just go out and just get as tuned up as you wanted and not worry about what's going to happen. Someone filming you, someone being in your face all the time, because that gets a little old. And you just want to hang out with the boys and not have everyone just all draped all over you. So,
See, now,
yeah.
I think, obviously, to a certain extent, you can't protect yourself, but I don't think these guys care. I think they want the cameras on them. But I do think, Swishy, if we wanted it, like, hey, maybe not the elbow room, but like if we went to 11 and said, hey, we don't want any cameras in here, I'm sure we could have got a section where it was like, hey, no. But I think that
champagne room.
Yeah, like I think we could have went in there and said, hey, listen, we don't want any fans. We want no cameras. We want those security guys to hold the fucking fort and don't let anyone in unless we tell them. I just think this team is like, that's their mentality. They want everyone to see what they're doing because they're always together. But I do think, Swishy, if you wanted to get a little greasier maybe or a little more like off camera, you could just say, hey, you're not coming in here.
If me and you were playing on a team, Obi, and we were both single, I'd be like, oh, can we, we might just go over here. Can we get this,
Yeah.
we're going to go over here, right? Like, we'd do that.
Yeah.
Hey, like, we got some counterparts coming in. We're going to be okay over here. Just put the cameras away.
No cameras past this point right here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on.
But to me, it seems like and the stuff at the elbow room was great, and the stuff at 11 was even great. But yeah, they haven't been hiding anything they're doing. So good on them. But that Brad Marchand, fuck, has he been pinned? Hey, he's fucking little Texas drunk, Rich. He's little Texas drunk. Hey, he's little Texas drunk. He's little Texas drunk. He's fucking been he's been overserved at Little Texas. You're like, fella, time to go. You gotta go, bud. There's a cab out front there, Belleville taxi. They'll take you back to Sterling. Just go ahead.
Central cab, buddy.
Central.
Grab a Central.
Yeah. Hey, can you go to Port Hope, bud? You know where Port Hope is? Start the meter, fella. Start the meter. But congrats to those boys. Brad Marchand, you're a legend, buddy. Keep her going. You're my dog of the week. Moving on here, boys, around the National League. We got some news. I just want to, and Richie, maybe you're the guy to ask. You've been in these meetings. I don't even know the kids that's going to go first overall. Schaefer, what's his first name?
Matthew
Schaefer. Watched him play a little bit in the World Juniors. Obviously got hurt, went fucking shoulder first in the crossbar, and his tournament was over. From everything I've heard and read online and seen, that he is the real deal. But if you're the New York Islanders and Patty Waugh, like, let's say this guy is the next thing. But, like, let's look at Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power, Aaron Ekblad. Defensemen that go first overall, they need some time, right? Like, this kid's not going to step in here right away and be a difference maker, do you think? Is there any chance they trade this pick? Like, if it was a number one forward, I would be like, do it. But, like, for me, even if this D-man, Swishy, will start with you, you're a D-man, even if this kid is the real deal, the next fucking greatest thing, like, how long did it take Victor Hedman to get going? Still 2 or 3 years, no, before Victor was...
Yeah. No, I mean, you make a great point, Obi. I think a lot of the times, especially guys that are smarter than us and work in hockey, they say it takes a defenseman 200-300 games to really see his potential, right? And now if you start that track at, say, 18 years old, I mean, that's asking a lot of a kid to come into the National Hockey League level and be able to defend. And especially if you're an offensive guy, well, now you have to learn the nuances of defending first. So that might take 2 or 3 years before you really see the offensive side really, flourish through. Like, I think Rasmus Dahlin, however old he is still finding his groove in the National Hockey League, and he still has, a higher ceiling and a trajectory to hit. So I want to turn it over to Richie because he's obviously been in these scouting meetings. Richie, are you taking the best available player or what your team exactly needs? Because you don't want to miss on the best available player, despite you might need something like a forward instead of defenseman right away.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't the Islanders, I'd say it's probably going to be taken. But the Islanders, you never know with these fucking crazy guys. They'll do anything sometimes.
Now, and I agree with you, but I would say the Islanders, I still think the NHL rigged the draft to get them the first overall pick. Like, they're a couple pieces away from maybe being a playoff team, are they not, Rich? If you can take this first overall pick and get an NHL forward, 2 NHL forwards and a defenseman or something. Like now it's like, okay, maybe we are a playoff team, and we know you get in, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite see them as a playoff team, to be honest. I think they're a boring team, and I think they're probably going to move some pieces and get younger. But
okay,
I think they're going to keep the pick. Probably. I look at a guy like Drew Doughty, second overall, came in the league, played right away. Cam Fowler, just interviewed, came in the league and played right away. How do you? I don't know this kid. I haven't seen him enough, but
Drew Doughty's a good argument.
You're going to be drafted first.
Drew Doughty's a really good argument, Rich.
Just second overall. So you're picking you see a pick a defenseman first overall. Who cares if it takes you 2 or 3 years? That's going to be your backbone. You mentioned Victor Hedman. They won how many cups with him? 2, 3 finals. So
you don't care that it took Victor Hedman.
That's what you have to move.
Yeah, it took Victor Hedman 5 years. Okay, so his first 5 years, he averaged 20 points. The highest he ever had, 26. Fuck, I had 22 one year. Those aren't impressive numbers, really, right? And then, boom, his fifth is into his 6th year. He had 55 points, and now he's gone off to have Norris Trophy. But you're saying from an organizational standpoint that when you have a legit number one defenseman, you can't pass up for the longevity that the next 10 years this kid's going to give you.
Yeah, I don't think so, because you can't find these guys. Those like a Victor Hedman, a Drew Doughty. These guys you just don't get them in trades too often. So if you draft him, you get a chance to draft first overall, grab the guy you want. And I don't know if it's him, but if that's the guy they want, grab him, build your team around him, and then go from there. Trade some of these older guys, say a Pajot or some of these guys that you're like, you know what? Our window's probably 5 years from now, so let's get younger. Let's maybe grab another pick. Let's grab some younger guys off another team. And that's how I would build it.
I like that, Swishy. If they want to take this kid and get younger, I think that's a hell of a game plan for Matthew Darche and the New York Islanders, which I think that's a hell of an idea. But I'm talking about the lineup they got right now. It's like,
I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
They barely squeaked in the last 3 or 4 years. This team's stale to me. I can't stand watching them play hockey. But that's just me.
Swishy, before we turn it over to you, Drew Doughty is the fucking correct answer by Brad Richardson. Doughty's first year he had 27 points, and his next year he had 59.
Right, but
and they won a cup. They won a cup in his 4th year.
I mean, Eric Johnson was the first overall pick too.
Yeah, exactly.
He also played the league for 17, 18 years, so that's not a bad pick.
Yeah,
and a cup winner.
No, but first overall, fuck.
No, I know. But some years, that's why. Some years are better than others, right? Obviously, there's higher talent. Like next year's draft's supposed to be super high end.
I like that idea, Rich. I may text Darcy. I don't know if I got his number still. Played him. I don't know if we ever exchanged numbers, but that's a hell of an idea. If you're going to take this kid, let's go younger. You know, what do you do with then? You know, let's just look at their lineup here real quick. A kid that I absolutely love is Barzal. Like, Richie, if we're going to go younger, are you thinking about moving him?
I mean, when's the last did he score 20 goals this year?
He was hurt this year. He's got great hair, though. So you look at their top line of Andres Lee, Bo Horvat, Matty Barzal. Then their second line is that Callum Ritchie they got from Colorado, Duclair, Palmieri. I can't believe they re-signed Palmieri. I was shocked by that one. Yeah. And their third and fourth line it's not perfect. And then their back end, there's rumors that Dobson's on the blocks. But their D's pretty solid. Romanoff, Dobson, Pelech, Pollock, and Mayfield.
Yeah.
And
so
then
I don't know. That's the way I see it going. I don't know. But who knows? You never know with them. They could say, you know what, we're going to go for it. I don't think they have a good enough team to go for it. But
Swish, you want to wrap that up for us? But I think Richie's onto something with you. Take the kid and Darcy goes young and tries to rebuild on the fly here, kind of retool as you go.
No, I'm with Richie. I think a lot of their guys on the back nine. I was shocked by the Palmieri signing. Obviously, Honors Lee's not getting any faster. Brock Nelson's the guy that they moved away from, obviously with Colorado now. Their decore's okay. Their goalie's good, but I'm with you, Obi. Could you retool on the fly? And I think the chip that you would have, now the return would have to make sense, and the return would have to be enough to warrant to move this guy. But a Matty Barzal, like I would be floating his name out there just to see what I could get, because he's probably the one piece on your team that teams would be really intrigued about if you were to go that direction. So that's one name I would be like, okay, we take this kid first overall. Can we kind of retool on the fly here, get a little bit younger, and just see what's out there? Go sniffing and see what's out there for Matty Barzal.
Yeah, I've never thought of it from that perspective of let's draft this kid Schaefer and get younger. I like where Richie's head at, but if you're looking at, if you're Matthew Darche and you're a rookie GM and you're in New York and you got some good pieces, if you could trade the first overall pick and you don't have a second line center because Brock Nelson left town, like does the first overall pick, can it get you a second line center, a top 4 D-man, and another third or fourth liner? Or is that too much? You're not going to get all that for the first pick, are you, Rich? That's a lot,
I
right?
think so. No, but
But don't you think you gotta just flush out the old stench of the Lou model, like the run of the Islanders, the way that they played to this point? It hasn't worked, and they're only older now, Obi. I think if you're a new GM, you want to put your fingerprints on it, get younger, show your ownership. We have this new model, this new style of play, and kind of put your own stamp on it. I think that's what you would want to do. Retool, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. I think that's something you got to focus on, is getting younger. I'm with Richie.
Yeah, it's a great call by Rich. I never thought of it that way.
one last point too, as a new GM, he's his first time GM. This guy wants to probably be a GM for more than 2 or 3 years. You try to go for it right away and it doesn't work, you're fired.
Yeah.
So you got to build your team, build the team you want to win with, not the team that someone else came with. That's my opinion, because that builds you 5 to 6 years, put a plan together, and then build your team around this guy.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, and it'll be. I'm going to keep my eye on it now, Rich. So thank you for that. I see if Darcy goes that way, because I think if you're going to take this kid at number 1, you start getting younger. You, like you said, what did you say? Get rid of the stench, AJ Swish, that sweet Lou left. But for me, if you're the Vancouver Canucks and Matty Barzal's available, he's a BC kid. Get on the blower, Patrick Alvin. If anything that could get me back on the Canucks bandwagon is if Matty Barzal was a Vancouver Canuck. That kid is a good kid. He's had some injuries, but time will tell. Richie, good intel, fella. That's why you're in the war room with the boys, eh? That's why you're in the war room. Last but not least, around the National League, Trevor Zegras is, I don't know if he was renting or if he had a house that's for sale here in Orange County, to the Flyers for not a whole fuck of a lot. I did talk to the text with the Real Rocket Talk, and he's excited to have him. Thinks there's lots of upside, obviously. Swishy, we'll start with you. I think it was time for Z to get out of here, and I think the Real Rocket Talk, it will be good for him if he goes in open-minded and realizes he got to change his game a little bit. But I think it could be a good fit, and I'm a little worried about the Philadelphia fans. We'll see. His effort's going to have to go up a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he's obviously going to have to change his style of play a little bit. I think he'll work hand in hand with the Real Rocket Talk. Talks is always, a very honest, but he has the pedigree to back it up with working with elite players, whether he was an assistant coach in Pittsburgh or a head coach in Vancouver. And as long as Z is willing to meet Talks halfway to change his game, to be on the right side of the puck and realize he's not going to take away from his creativity and his offensive vision, then I think this could be a real home run. I mean, it was a really low-risk move for the Philadelphia Flyers if you're looking at it. A couple picks, Ryan Poehling, who's a bottom 6 type of player. I like the move from Philly. It's a swing, but it's a low-risk swing. Now, can the player meet the coach somewhere in the middle to really, get his game to another level, Obi? That's the biggest thing. They got to be on the same page there in Philadelphia, and I think there's one guy that can do it. It's the Real Rocket Talk.
Yeah. No, those are, yeah. And I love Talk. The only way I look at this a little bit like this, if Zegras goes in with a good attitude, he could be like a Clayton Keller. He plays a lot like Keller.
Yeah. It's a great comparison.
Keller had to learn how to play hockey, learn how to play defense, toughen up a little bit. And Kels will tell you this. I love Kels, but he had to learn how to play defense and just get a little bit, stronger mentally, stronger physically. Keller took that information and made him a really good player. The other guy that didn't listen to Talk was Elias Pettersson in Vancouver. Yeah. So who do you want to be? Do you want to be Clayton Keller or Pettersson? That's just I don't know. So he's got a chance.
That's 100%.
Talk's going to try to teach this kid how to play right way.
And the thing that Z, I think, will realize playing for a guy like Talks, and Talks will get through to him, I hope, because I'm pulling for Z, and obviously I'm all in on the Philly with Jonesy and Talks there now. If Zegras learns how to play the right way, that will give him more offensive opportunities. Like, you watch Clayton Keller play the game now, he's got the puck on the stick more than ever because
a whole game.
Yeah, it's because he's coming back, he's tracking back, he's battling, he's in the right situations. He pays attention to details. Like, if he can get through to Z, I think Z will realize that. And now that he's no longer the first rounder of the Anaheim Ducks, and now he's got to take some humble pie and didn't get traded for a whole lot, right? Swishy maybe has a chip on his shoulder and goes in with an open mind, because the sky is the limit if he can turn his game into a Clayton Keller style hockey.
Yeah, and I think what Richie's talking about too, I mean, he played with Kels. He even played with a guy like my brother. And those first few years for those guys, they were playing 13 minutes a night because Talk was like, well, I probably can't trust you defensively. You got to learn how to play the right way. So I think if he can get in there, get to a baseline level of his game where he can be trusted by Talks. Now the offense is going to come naturally, but he's got to learn to play the right way. He's got to commit to it, Obi, and that's going to be the biggest thing going into camp.
Yeah,
and if he does, they just stole a really high,
Big
really
time.
high end player.
Yeah.
So,
and I'll tell you what,
it works out.
I don't know DB Danny Blair that much. He's come on the show. Updog got him on. I played against him obviously, but Keith Jones. I mean, if you can't play for Keith Jones and Rick Tocchet, it's like, who can you play for? These guys are old school.
Can't play in the league.
You can't play in the league. If you can't play for Keith Jones and Rick Tocchet, then it's not the right league for you. So, I wish them luck. I think it's a great trade. I think Z's going to come through the other end, and like you said, Rich, it could be one of those trades where you look back and be like, wow, that was a big one for the boys. So, moving on here, boys, it's rumor mill time. I was going to bring up the Connor McDavid presser. I'm going to leave it alone. Oilers fans, you're going through enough up there. Time will tell how that unfolds. But some news out of the big smoke in Toronto. I believe it was Dave Pagnotta or maybe Chris Johnson reported the Leafs have offered Tavares 3 years, $4 million. I did think he would take a little bit of a hometown discount. Swishy, I'll start with you. This seems a little light to me, buddy, and I thought you had a good idea about maybe some longer term. But to me, as much as John Tavares, I think, still wants to be a Toronto Maple Leaf and somehow get a Stanley Cup back to Toronto, guy had fucking almost 40 snipes. I mean, this is a little light, right?
It's very light. It's a guy that, again, almost a point per game player, 39 goals in the regular season, Opes. 3 years at $4 million, $12 million in total ain't going to get it done. But is there a way where you can convince the local product to maybe take more term and less AAV? So you spread it over something similar they did last year, Brad Treliving, with Chris Tanev, 6 times 4.5 or 7 times 4.5. A lot of that money guaranteed up front with signing bonus, so you're protected with the buyout clause. That is something maybe you could convince the 34-year-old out of Toronto, but yeah, like it's almost disrespectful. No,
it's borderline. It's borderline. Like, don't even make the offer.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
almost $40. Like, don't even keep it.
It was like it was like when Dave Poyle, I was a free agent, and he's like, I don't even want to make an offer to offend Obi, and I'm like to my agent, I'm like, no, just tell him to make the offer. He made the offer, which then offended me, and it was game over. I'm like, fuck, I should have listened to him. God, you want to pay me half of what you're paying? Okay, thanks, Dave. I'm gonna just try my luck somewhere else. But I'm with you, Swishy. I think that's borderline. And Brad Treliving's a great guy. It's he has a job to do. But to me, I like what you're saying. Drag it out a little more, longer term. And near the back end, if he's done, you throw him on long-term IR and the insurance company pays for it, Rich. But I think Tavares is going to get some calls on July 1 if he doesn't take this hometown discount.
Well, certainly. And I think that number, it's how it is. Your first offer, he's a good centerman. I mean, you can, maybe he hasn't won yet and he doesn't play your exact way, but he's a good player in this league, obviously, for a long time. So he's probably going to get closer to 6 when it's said and done. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be too offended if I was him.
No, and he's rich already. He's rich as fuck.
What do you think the term is that he could get on the open market? Is it a 4-year deal? Is it a 5-year deal? Like, what do you think at that AAV 6 and a hook he could get? Is it 4 years?
I mean, I think. What do you think? I think he's probably looking at. That's what he wants.
I would think he wants 4 years. I think most teams would really like 3.
Yeah.
Max 3. But sometimes that's just not the way it goes when you're trying to battle with other teams.
And listen, I don't love Tavares' game. Like, I still think come playoff time, he's still a little bit on the softer side for me. But like when I look at a team, our boy Coop in Tampa, like, I don't want to bring up the state tax again, but I mean it's cheaper to live there. Then imagine you go Braden Point, Tavares, Nick Paul, Yanni Gord. To me, Tampa might be a team where, he can find a way to stretch it out like Julian Breezeball always does. I don't know if Coop's a fan of him or not. I'm not sure. But to me, that's a team, Swishy, that, Julian Breezeball, like I said, has been good at, stretching. Like Nick Paul's deal was, 8 years for $2.5 million or something like that? Like, that deal is starting to mature nicely for him.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Yanni Gord, as you mentioned. Yeah. But though in a world, so 4 years, that's $6.5 million. That's $26 million. Okay, so if you're the Leafs, would you offer him, if that's what he could maybe get on the open market? If you're the Leafs, 6 years at 4 and a hook, that's $27 million, right? So it's the same amount of money basically, but you just stretch it over 2 more years. Do you think that's something he could get on board with and be like, okay, I want to stay put with the 2 extra years in there, and it's about the same amount of money?
I don't know if I want those boots around for 7 years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It would be 6 years, but yeah.
6 years, but still.
But then you commit to 4 years, then you could put them on LT.
Yeah, but that's not always, you can get, there's always, if he wants to play, he has to play.
It's true.
So it'll be interesting.
Who would you rather have?
Like on a shorter term.
Would you rather have a 30? Well, I guess they're the same age. Tavares is 34. What about a Michael Granlund out of Dallas? Like, is that a fit that could slide in there in Toronto? Like, Tree might be able to get him for. I mean, he made $5 million last year, and he had 66 points.
That's not a guy. I don't know if I want to give him term though.
No, he'll get another 3. He'll get a 3-year deal somewhere though, Granny.
For sure.
I mean, now you're looking down the depth chart of centerman, right? Bennett's going to stay
out there.
Marchand,
not a lot.
Yeah, he's a winger now. I mean, do you want Suter from Vancouver? I mean, the guy's a good player, but
soft.
Yeah, it's not like.
No, that's why I think I think they'll come with a term there in Toronto. It's just they'll get the money up and 3 years at 6 or something, and then he'll.
Fuck, Rich, you might want to get back on the ice here. There's no centermen that are really UFA here, fella. Get it, sir. Rent the ice. Is there ice up there, Flagstaff? Start bagging yourself. We'll set up the camera crew. We'll get Ice Pick to edit it and make sure you look good. Might get you.
I'll drop the biscuits.
Yeah. I'll take the face. I'll go against you.
I'm putting a cage on and I'll put one of those sliding mitts on the guys in the MLB wear. So when I'm dropping, it's like an oven mitt.
I mean, Jamie Benn's a guy I'm interested to see where he ends up too. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Vancouver.
I'd love to see him in band.
Time will tell, boys. Rumor mill. It's a good time to be a UFA. Not a very deep class, though, Rich. You are right about that. Moving on here at Missin Curfew. It's milk carton time. We're going back to the association. SGA is Canadian, but he didn't fucking celebrate like a Canadian. Boys, I'm putting the Oklahoma City Thunder on the milk carton for their lack of spraying champagne, for their lack of drinking, for their lack of celebrating, really. Fuck, you didn't even know they won. They cost me my plus 440 with the Pacers. Halliburton getting hurt was heartbreaking. I think they would have won that game if he stayed in there. But the Florida Panthers right now are on a 6-day bender. OKC was home in bed by midnight. They're on the milk carton. That is not. I mean, fuck, even the boys back in the day, Jordan and the boys, they would party hard. This is not acceptable.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, Richie sent me a video earlier in the day.
Wish take this. You're the association guru.
Yeah, I saw a video out of OKC at about midnight. SGA and Williams, they were leaving at midnight in a car service. It's like, boys, number one, why aren't you still in the locker room dusting off the champagne? Why don't you have the goggles on? Why aren't you hanging out? And two, if everyone's going to be leaving, where's the Sprinter van or where's the party bus and where are we going?
Fire up the jet.
It was so JV, and just the way SGA acted after the game, like there was a camera in his face and he was getting in the car, the Tahoe or whatever it was. And he was just like, well, that's a wrap on the season. And even earlier in the day, if you back it up, they interviewed Lou Dort before the game. They're like, what does this mean to you going into a Game 7? And Lou Dort was basically another Canadian.
I know. Like, fuck.
He was just basically saying, well, it's like the last day of school. Just kind of, you try your best and then you go home. It's, bro, what do you need? Christ. Game 7 for the Larry O'Brien. What are we doing here, fellas? So I don't know if it's just the Canadian guys on that team, Obi, or it's the state of the association, but
I'm sure guys like Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, these guys are probably like, what are you doing, Shaq and the boy? Like, you're telling me the truth when they won in Boston, didn't go on a bender through Beantown? Like, for sure.
I mean, even guys of even Golden State, Draymond Green will be getting after it. Chef, like Klay Thompson. I mean, fuck.
And again, even if you don't want to go out, stay in the locker room and party with the boys till 2 or 3 in the morning, at least.
There was beers everywhere, and they were not drinking. There was champagne not popped. It was like media guys, Richie, standing around looking, and all the boys were gone. I was like, this is impossible.
Fucking, I left Staples Center at 5 a.m. Fuck.
Yeah. Where'd you go after that? Where'd you go after that, bud?
Yeah, it was embarrassing, boy. Yeah. Hotbox the room. Do something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. You don't have to drink. If you're just a puffer, then start puffing the blunts and get her going.
But just pretend you enjoy your teammates at least.
Yeah. Because I think if Indiana would have won and Pat McAfee would have joined the celebration, I think they would have went Buck Diddy. They just seemed like they had that kind of group of guys. So,
Obi, I remember the stories out of the 2004 Pistons, that badass team.
Oh, yeah.
Wallace,
Ben Wallace,
Tayshaun Prince, Big Shot, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Lindsey Hunter, all those guys. I remember they said they hotboxed the room so much that it stunk up the whole palace. Like the owner came out and it was just a cloud of smoke, like all over the whole entire arena because that's how much they were puffing.
Yeah.
It's like that's, and they were drinking too. Like, come on, boys.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone was puffing a little weed pen in the Panthers locker room. Nowadays, you might just be able to pull that pen out and just fucking give her a little hit before you don't even know. A lot of cigars being passed around the Panthers locker room. Got to think those are nice Cubans too, eh? Right off the boat there down in South Florida. They got a guy for sure. You got a guy?
Sure.
You got a guy.
I got a guy. Always got a guy.
I got a guy. So you're on the milk carton. Although right now we got the 3 MVPs of the, obviously Sam Bennett, SGA won the finals MVP. Freddie Freeman, whose mom's from Peterborough, Ontario, won the World Series MVP. So we don't have any Canadian football players, do we? No. A couple punters maybe, or offensive linemen. No.
Mitch Berger.
Yeah, I'm a punter, but I'm richer than you. He had that poster in his bar. It was unbelievable. Thought it was great. Speaking of bars, Swishy, it's the Jägermeister Iciest Shot of the Week. Fella.
Presented by Jägermeister, Obi. Serve it cold, fella, or don't serve it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold. For more, visit Jägermeister.com. Folks, always drink responsibly.
Man, it's good when it comes out of that tap. Fucking 0 degrees Fahrenheit. They tasty. They slide down. Shout out to Captain USA, the Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley, friend of the show. The Travelers Championship this weekend, right in his backyard of Hartford, Connecticut. Poor Tommy Fleetwood. Guy's never won the PGA Tour. He has won, I believe, 7 times overseas, but he pissed it away. But the Jäger iciest shot of the night was, the drive was unbelievable, and Keegan steps up there. I'm not sure how far he had. I think it was an 8 or 9 iron, and as soon as he hit it, he just said, be good or be the right one. Stuffed it in there under the hole, made the putt. Damn, that's cold. I'll tell you what, that's our Jäger iciest shot of the week, and Richie Keegan Bradley is playing his way onto this Ryder Cup team. He may not even have to pick himself. He may qualify, but right now he's like the top 6 qualifying. He's like 9th, I think. So, yeah, he's playing himself right on. It was an unbelievable shot under the gun and then poured it in. Damn, that's cold.
It was a little soft 9 iron you hit there.
Is that what it was? God, it was
soft
nice.
9 iron. And then obviously to make that putt too, right? You got to hit the putt.
Yeah.
Great.
Poor Tommy Fleetwood, eh? I felt for him.
Fuck. Did you see his post-game press? He was like kind of crying in the post-game there. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. He just can't get her done. I mean, the guy is a top. I mean, he's on the European Ryder Cup every 4 years or 2 years, whatever it is. Like, he's a world-class player. Yeah. He just can't win the States for whatever reason. Like,
Fairway Jesus.
Fairway Jesus. So, Captain USA, good for you, Keegan. Our Jäger Ice shot of the night. Richie Swish, always a pleasure, fellas. Thank you so much. Hall Pass Media, Kyle, Casey, Conway, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.